My teacher told my mom I was too dumb for college, so I mailed her my diploma. When I was 16, I started believing I was stupid, not because I actually was, but because every time I hesitated in class, every time I stayed quiet instead of volunteering an answer, my English teacher, Mrs. Palmer, would sigh like I'd just failed humanity. She'd say things like, "Some people just don't have academic instincts," and "college isn't for everyone." She said it gently, but hands on hips, in that patronizing way that cut deeper than shouting ever would. I wasn't lazy. I worked 2 part-time jobs, one before school, one after. My mom was raising me alone, juggling rent and 3 younger siblings. I got A's when I could, C's when life interfered. But one afternoon at parent-teacher conferences, Mrs. Palmer looked my mom right in the eye and said, "She's a sweet girl, but she's not college material. Maybe vocational school." I'll never forget my mom's face. Tight smile, red eyes. She just nodded and whispered, "Thank you for your honesty." Then we drove home in silence. I could feel her disappointment radiating off her. I almost gave up after that. I stopped raising my hand, stopped trying to impress anyone. But one night, after a 12-hour shift at the diner, my coworker Steven, the 70-year-old dishwasher who still wore faded band t-shirts, looked at me and said, "You're smarter than you think, kid. You just don't have time to show it." That broke something open. I scraped up a few $100s, applied for community college, got in, then transferred to state. 4.5 brutal years later, after late-night essays, tutoring sessions, and microwave noodles, I graduated. I became a high school English teacher because I wanted to be the teacher I needed back then, the one who doesn't mistake tired for dumb. A few years later, our district had a regional conference for educators. Guess who was listed as a retired guest mentor? Mrs. Palmer. She came up to me during a break, didn't recognize me at first. "You look familiar," she said, polite smile. I smiled back. "I used to be one of your students. You told my mom I wasn't college material." Her face froze. "Oh well, sometimes teachers misjudge." I laughed. "It's fine, honestly. You were right about one thing. I wasn't college material then, but I am now." Later that week, I mailed her a copy of my diploma with a sticky note attached. "Thank you for the motivation." She never replied, but I didn't need her to. Because the truth is, she wasn't wrong when she said I didn't have academic instincts, I just didn't have a safety net. Now, whenever one of my students says, "I'm just not smart enough," I ask them, "Who told you that?" Because once you find out it's just somebody's opinion, you can decide not to believe it anymore.